Okay, Avocet part 2, or rather lesson 2 on part 1. Yeah, so make sure you've been through the part 1. It's getting used to dad-gad, all that business. The next part is going to be really exploring what we can do with the scale, the D major scale, in this part of the fretboard. So, and I go through it just bar by bar. I'll start right in with the first little phrase, which is this. First of all, I'll show you how the notes go. The notes themselves, where you might first play it, or read it from notation, for example. Okay, this is the first 4 beats. I'm assuming it's 4/4 here. It all fits into 4/4, although the phrasing kind of goes over the bars a little bit. But let me just play that again. Alright, that's the notes of the melody. But now Bert played it up here. Okay. You can see it sits under the fingers rather nicely. Yeah, I'll add the bass in a second, but the tune, and there's also a little bend he puts in, but again I'll come to that in a second. So the fingering, index finger on fret 7, first string, little finger, fret 10, second string, down to third finger on the 9th fret, and then we have middle finger, 9th fret, 3rd string. Okay, and then the open 2nd string. Alright, not too sure which right hand finger's here, but I think any that you feel like using, not the thumb of course, because the thumb will be playing a bass. Now, the next C note is here on the 4th string. Then back to the open 1st string now. Okay, that's the whole little phrase there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so that first note is on the and of 1, because the bass note, the D bass, is on the first beat. And then there's an A bass halfway through. So we're no longer playing that bass line in the first section. There's the A bass, comes in on the 3rd string note here. And then there's on the C note, he's adding a G bass here. This is 10th fret on the 5th string. So you've got kind of a double stop there. And then that open 1st string. About that speed it is. Now, a little bend he does is like a bend and release. It's on the 10th fret of the 2nd string, like that. It seems to be a whole step release from that note. In other words, from this note here, but on the 2nd string. So you get a kind of, as if it's coming down from that one. But obviously, I wouldn't try attempting that until you're really quite confident on the rest of it. Yeah, right. Now the next bar, again, this is the next 4 beats, although the next bit of, the first bit of this bar sounds like the end of that last phrase. Okay, 5th string, middle finger slides down from 9 to 7, and then the open 4th string, so it's an F sharp E D. It could be played as a pull off, but he actually slides it. Okay, so adding to the first bar, and those are quick there, that's a semiquavers. Okay, now the next bit gets a little bit fancy, and it's quite fast. So let's go through really slow. Middle finger comes back to 9th fret on the 6th string, open 3rd string, and then 3rd finger slides up the 4th string. Okay, that's just one beat there, 4 notes in one beat. So with the phrase before it, like that. And then we've got A bass and open E, and index on 9. These are just quavers now. And lastly on this bar, pull off on 2nd string, 10 to 9, D bass, and open 1st. Now I'm adding the bass there with the tune, because I think with this you may as well, include the whole right hand as you need to, and just make it a pattern, rather than trying to do one and then the other. Because the thumb and fingers are involved in the melody as well as the bass. And I'll just want to put both these bars together now, nice and slow. Okay, now the fingering here, I've gone from the index on 3rd string and putting off 3rd to 2nd, but I think actually he'd play as middle to 1, so moving the index across, not barring, but moving it across. Okay, you can't bar it because you want the open 1st string at the end there. Okay, 3rd bar of this section, coming down here now to 4th position. So all the rest of it, all that first part is up here, basically between frets 7 and 12, but mainly around fret 9. Right, so now we're down to here, 4th position, bass, 4th fret, 5th string, and then little finger on the 1st string. There's the first 2 notes there, first beat. Alright, so it's 5th strings 5, 5, 3, 1. Frets 4, 6 and 7. And then bass on the 5th fret, 5th string. And one of his little hammer-on pull-offs on the 3rd string, 4th to 6th, and then the open 2nd string. This is a 2/4 bar. This one, at least that's how I conceptualise it. Okay, I mentioned in the first lesson this thing that seems to crop up in quite a lot of his music, where he'll have a 4 fret position, and then his little finger and his index sort of sop around quite a lot. There's something someone said about his playing when they, in the 60s, that his looking at him was hypnotic, watching his fingers, and these kind of little positional changes are quite clever. Anyway, that's that one. Okay, and it links to the previous bar. Let's see if I can do that again. So we're going Now we're going on to the fourth bar now. It's another 4/4 bar, and these 4 bars are going to repeat. All right. So here's the next section. Now we're down here now, second position. Okay, we just adjust my angle here. Little bit of a stretch here, but little finger on the G bass, fifth fret, 6th string. I'm going to pull off 2nd string index, 2nd string 2nd fret, and then open strings. Okay, so the beauty of dadgad, of course, you've got 2 scale notes next to each other there on the 3rd and 2nd strings. So these are semiquavers again, so this is one whole beat. And then we go into an A bass, a cadence approaching here. A bass, open, 1st string, and then the 4th fret, C sharp here on the 2nd string. And lastly, the 2 Ds. And an A bass note on beat 4 to lead you back to a repeat of this whole section. Now, let me see if I can get through that without making a mistake. Okay, that goes through twice, and then there's a kind of a linking couple of bars passage to move to the next section, but I'll just show you the linking passage for now, and we'll leave the following section to a lesson 3, I think. So let me just go through the linking section, which first of all repeats the G figure, and it continues like this. So now we've got after the G with the pull off, we've got a 4th fret bass, and then frets 2 and 4 on the 2nd string, and then a 2nd fret on the 6th string, and open and 2nd on the 1st string, and then sorry, that's the wrong rhythm. Let me just do that again. Like that. So that's the D bass. Yeah. Those open strings, and then this kind of half fret bend on 2nd fret, up one semitone and back. And this is a slow down in this section, so it's something like this. Okay, and then we're going into another tricky little game with this region of the guitar, but I'll come to that in the next session, I think. Okay.